Hispaniola, or the Spanish island, is an island in the Caribbean that is part of the Greater Antilles. Hispaniola is the most populous island in the West Indies, and the region's second largest in area, after the island of Cuba. The 76,192 square kilometer to the west. The only other divided island in the Caribbean is Saint Martin, which is shared between France and the Netherlands. Hispaniola is the site of one of the first European settlements in the Americas, La Navidad. These settlements were founded successively in each of Christopher Columbus's first 3 voyages. The island was called by various names by its native people. The Taino. The Taino had no written language. Hence, historical evidence for these names comes through 3 European historians, the Italian Peter Martir d'Anghiera, and the Spaniards Bartolomé de las Casas and Gonzalo Fernández de Oviedo. Based on a comprehensive survey and map prepared by Andrés de Morales in 1508, Martir reported that the island as a whole was called Quisquela and Haiti referred to a rugged, mountainous region on the eastern end of the island. Diego Alvarez Chanca, a physician on Columbus's second voyage, also noted that Haiti was the easternmost province of the island. On the other hand, Oviedo and Las Casas both recorded that the entire island was called Haiti by the Taino. When Columbus took possession of the island in 1492, he named it Insula Hispana in Latin and La Isla Española in Spanish, both meaning the Spanish island. Las Casas shortened the name to Hispaniola, and when Peter Martir detailed his account of the island in Latin, he rendered its name as Hispaniola. Due to Taino, Spanish and French influences on the island, historically the whole island was often referred to as Haiti, Haiti, Santo Domingo, or Saint Domingue. Martir's literary work was translated into English and French soon after being written. The name Hispaniola became the most frequently used term in English-speaking countries for the island in scientific and cartographic works. In 1918, the United States occupation government, led by Harry Shepard Knapp, obliged the use of the name Hispaniola on the island, and recommended the use of that name to the National Geographic Society. Quote, Haiti, one of the original Taino names for the island, was adopted by Haitian revolutionary Jean-Jacques Dessalines in 1804 as the official name of independent Saint-Domingue, in tribute to the Amerindian predecessors. It was also adopted as the official name of independent Santo Domingo, as the Republic of Spanish Haiti, a state that existed from November 1821 until its annexation by Haiti in February 1822. The primary indigenous group on the island of Hispaniola was the Taino people. The Arawak tribe originated in the Orinoco Delta, spreading from what is now Venezuela. They arrived on Hispaniola around 1200 CE. Each society on the island was a small independent kingdom with a lead known as a cacique. In 1492, which is considered the peak of the Taino, there were 5 different kingdoms on the island: the Zaragua, Higi, and Marine. Many distinct Taino languages also existed in this time period. There is still heated debate over the population of Taino people on the island of Hispaniola in 1492. But estimates range upwards of 750,000. 2020 genetic analysis estimated the population to be no more than a few tens of thousands of people. A Taino home consisted of a circular building with woven straw and palm leaves as covering. Most individuals slept in fashioned hammocks, but grass beds were also used. The cacique lived in a different structure with larger rectangular walls and a porch. The Taino village also had a flat court used for ball games and festivals. Religiously, the Taino people were polytheists, and their gods were called Zemi. Religious worship and dancing were common, and medicine men or priests also consulted the Zemi for advice in public ceremonies. For food, the Taino relied on meat and fish as a primary source for protein. Some small mammals on the island were hunted, including rats, but ducks, turtles, snakes and bats were a common food source. The Taino also relied on agriculture as a primary food source. The indigenous people of Hispaniola raised crops in a conuco, which is a large mound packed with leaves and fixed crops to prevent erosion. Some common agricultural goods were cassava, maize, squash, beans, peppers, peanuts, cotton, and tobacco, which was used as an aspect of social life and religious ceremonies. The Taino people traveled often and used hollowed canoes with paddles when on the water for fishing or for migration purposes, and upwards of 100 people could fit into a single canoe. The Taino came in contact with the Caribs, another indigenous tribe. Often, the Taino people had to defend themselves using bows and arrows with poison tips and some war clubs. When Columbus landed on Hispaniola, many Taino leaders wanted protection from the Caribs. Christopher Columbus,